Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about lesson 7.3, which is logarithms and logarithmic functions. And it's a funny name, and it looks even funnier whenever you see the actual function. So the first thing I want you to remember is just a few basics of how powers work. So if we have 2 raised to the second power, it's a 4. If we have 2 raised to the third power, it's an 8. But what would we need to raise 2 to the power of in order to get 6? Well, it's somewhere between a 2 and a 3, because it would be falling somewhere between 4 and 8, but it's not like 2.5 or anything. It's because powers don't work that way. Remember, it's not multiplying, it's a exponent. So we need a way of figuring out how to do this. It's something that's a number between 2 and 3. And so that is why we use logarithms. Logarithms is a different way of writing an exponential form of an equation, and it will allow us to use methods like using a calculator in order to determine some values. So let's look at 2 forms of our equations. First is just our basic exponential form, which we have seen already in the first couple of lessons, and now this is the logarithmic form of the same equation. So 2 different forms of the same equation. And this log form is read as log base b of y equals x. So we have rearranged the equation to solve for this x that we couldn't solve for before because it wasn't an exponent. So let me show you an easy way to remember how to switch between forms. So it's called the swirl. And so basically what you do is you draw a circle on the left number or variable, and then the right one, and then the center one. And that will tell you where to put things in the other form. So if I want to switch from exponential form b to the x equals y to logarithmic form log base b of y equals x, here's how I know where to put my numbers. B is the first number, the one on the left. Y is the second number, and x is the third number. So b here, y here, x here. So you're going to swirl. In order to go the other way, from log form to exponential form, you do the same thing. You start on the right, then the left, and then the center. Left, right, center, swirl. Now, a unique thing about exponential form and logarithmic form is that these base functions are inverses of each other. So they can actually undo each other, like adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing. We spent an entire lesson talking about inverses of functions, and now we'll do a little bit of that today with our new inverses, exponential and logarithmic. So let's go ahead and get some practice with swirling and changing from log to exponent form and vice versa. So remember, we're going to do the swirl, left, right, center. So if I want to take number 1, log base 2 of 16 equals 4, and rewrite it in exponent form, I need to write a 2 first, then a 4, then a 16, left, right, center. So 2 first, power of 4 equals 16. Let's try another one. 12, 1, 12. Well, 12 to the first power is 12. Notice that these make sense. 2 to the fourth power is 16. 12 to the first power is 12. So you can always check and make sure that you're doing it right by thinking about the exponential form, which you're already familiar with. All right, here's another one. Log 1/4 of 4 equals -1. 1/4, -1, 4. Swirl left, right, center. So I'm going to say that 1/4 raised to the -1 power is equal to 4. Well, that's a true statement, because remember, anytime you have a negative exponent, it means take the piece, in this case be a 1/4, you might put parentheses around it to kind of distinguish it. Take 1/4 and do the reciprocal of that base, which is 4, and make the exponent positive. Well, 4 to the positive 1 power is just a 4. Let's go the other way now. Let's start with our exponential form and go to log form. Same pattern though. Left, right, center goes into our log. So the first thing on the log is going to be a 5, and then a 25, and that's equal to 2. 8 to the 2/3 equals 4. 8 4 2/3, so log base 8 of 4 equals 2/3. Finally, 6 to the negative 3rd power equals 1/216, because 6 to the 3rd power is 216. Remember that the negative sign flips it and makes it the reciprocal. So 6, 1/16, or 1/216, and then -3. So log base 6 of 1/216 is equal to -3.